Hey everyone, this is DayTraderRockStar, and this is a market update and stock watch list for Thursday, October 11th. Make sure on that date here. We're going to start off looking at the SPY, which is the ETF, the Spider's S&P 500 tracker. Basically, it tracks the S&P 500, but you could trade it. You could trade the SPY just like any other stock. So we're going to focus on that. I'm also going to show you the S&P 500. Let me just show you that right now. You can see pretty much the same, really just the same pattern that's playing out both on the S&P 500 and the ETF right here. You can see the 50-period moving average, the 20-period moving average of 200. The underlying trend line that starts out here in May, June. The crossover on the stochastics recently, and again, we'll go back and actually take a look at the S&P 500. Same exact thing, 250, 20. Underlying trend line, and you can see down on the S&P 500, we're in a situation where we're very bearish on the daily. That we know that the momentum was going to follow through today. We had a good guess that momentum was going to follow through, and we pretty much waited for not really being aggressive at all, and waiting for some entries to set up. And there's a couple entries setting up today, which I want to talk about. First of all, today we got into Brinker E18, and it performed good. It popped up really nice, and it still looks good. And I'll do a review on that in a second. And then we had again Dollar Tree, which also looks pretty good, and we'll do a review on that right now. But again, just one more time, taking a look at the SPY. We know that the daily is set up. The thing here on the 60 was interesting. The 60 is oversold. And when you see an embedded stochastic, and embedded stochastics means that the stochastics are really flatlined on the lower part of the band for more than 3 periods. If you look at it on a 60-minute chart, with 3 periods of the 60-minute chart, and that usually foretells a more bearish scenario. Now, the problem with an embedded stochastics, you really can't really time it. You don't know if it's going to start to turn up. It's going to, when the signal is going to be up. Normally, you get a signal moves up and moves down. Your crossovers are your signals, and usually have a better opportunity when the stochastics are oversold for that bounce and overbought for that pullback. But when it starts to get embedded, you're more looking for some more further downside. But there's really no, looking at it and saying, well, we're going to pop today. But there is, I guess I should have told you that. Lots of times the 60-minute stochastics will stay embedded, waiting for the daily to catch up. And what I mean by that, we go to the daily stochastics, and you can see that we're not quite oversold yet. And sometimes that just happens to wait for a trigger. We had to get down to the oversold level, and then when they both line up, we become that really just triggers the internals, and you see that bounce right off of that. So that's something to pay attention to going forward. If we continue to break down from this, really no guarantee that we're gonna, not break down, or we're gonna also maybe get a bounce. We really had 3 down days here, and after that point, this would really be a good buy signal if we broke above the previous day high. Now I know futures are up a little tonight. Let me see if I have the futures up here. I'll just take a look at the day trading radio site. Yeah, you can see the futures are moving up. I don't even know what they're up, but they look like they're up quite a bit. And so that's going to leave us, in a situation where we are looking for a bounce tomorrow. So leaving off today, when we left today on the radio station, I said I'd be, I would be a betting man for an upside bounce tomorrow early morning. That might take the shape of a gap up. All right. What we're talking about is a retracement back into today's candlestick, and then the possible reversal and move lower. But I'm definitely looking for that pop early in the morning. Now, there's a couple stocks you could trade off of that. I think there's a couple stocks that are going to enjoy that pop, and we'll talk about those too. So let's go over some stocks right now. I want to try to keep this as fast as I can, because you guys are getting either late night or early morning. You have no time to really get into an hour-long video. So I want to roll through this real fast. Dollar Tree, great setup. It has a gap on my chart, and my chart doesn't give me the best view of this, but we're going to take a look at the 60-minute chart. And you can see the downward channel, recognized downward channel, and we've talked about it really being set up today, and we got oversold. This was really the setup. It was a little divergence, almost considered a double bottom here. That's usually the divergence that foreshadows a breakout of the channel. But we do have the 60-minute got overbought, and we talk about that all the time, how important it is just to sometimes pay attention to that 60-minute chart. So, with that crossing back over, we just take a look at the daily, and you can see the daily is already oversold. So the daily is a little bit better than the 60. The 60, yeah, the 60 made its little move. It's pulled back, but there's definitely a shot of this actually breaking back up. I love this stock right now. I think this is one of the best bets going forward, especially if the market does decide to kind of correct or backfill or rest here. Dollar Tree could be one of those stocks where that money kind of rotates back into. So definitely one of the best bets going into the rest of the week and into early next week. Occidental Petroleum, OXY. We waited for this one. And you know what was great about this? There was a couple different things here. We didn't put this underlying trend line here, but if you put an underlying trend line here, and you can see, let me actually put the overhead trend line here too. It's not much of one, but you could see what we're looking at. You know, what we want to see is this actually get down. Let me adjust these a little. You know, this could actually, you know, we're talking about give or take a few levels. You know, really the 82.20 to 82.10 was our entry level, and we pulled back into it. And this is really starting to look good because we're oversold on the 60. We're oversold on a daily, and we have an underlying trend line now. If we zoom out, you can see that this Occidental Petroleum has this support line here. It's not really a trend line, but just a support line that we've bounced off back here July 20th, back here August 31st, and now we're back down to it. Same situation, oversold stochastics. Here we had a double bounce. Here we had a nice divergence bounce, and here we're starting to see maybe a possible double bounce. So Occidental Petroleum, my analogy on this is where you want to be if you're going to look for a bounce. Markets could do a lot. We're entering earnings season, and there's, you know, the market seems to be a little weak the last couple of days, but the fear mongers are coming out, trying to push the market lower. I would not be surprised to see a decent sized rally tomorrow if we hold it. You know, definitely something in the morning, but if we hold it, very possibility of a decent rally tomorrow. So one of the, I think Kite Stops, one of the members of the site brought up Haynes. Let me see if, oh, not Haynes. Let me double check this here. H-A-I-N, H-A-N-I. All right, you can see the 60-minute chart has, but really the daily is what I want to look at here with you. And set this up here. We have just a nice pullback, and what I liked about this earlier today is this is setting up, and we haven't really discussed this too much. I want to do a special video. It's a type of stochastic divergence. There's a few kinds of, there's about 3 types of divergences I pay attention to. Stochastic divergence where you know, the stochastics are pulling back and the price is moving really sideways. All right, and then when you get that oversold level, you usually get that big bounce and a break above that that sideways consolidation. You have that type of divergence. You have the divergence where the stock pulls back and makes a series of lower lows. Yet the stochastics make lower lows, but the price makes a higher low. That's a positive stochastic divergence. And then the other one is the market makes a low and the stochastics make a double bounce or just a higher low like this. And that combined with this candlestick, so the market actually dropped down a little, broke down to the lows, but the stochastics didn't break back down to the lows. All right, and we start to turn up, and that's a very powerful indicator right there. And from that point, combined with that reversal candle, meaning that we started off, we sold off, and we came back and closed near the highs. That's a reversal in my book. And that looks also very good. So everything here is really set up. I just want to get the trigger. I want to get the confirmation of the crossover. Really, for that to happen, I would say, you know, we just got to probably just break, you know, just move a little bit higher tomorrow. Everything does look pretty good, though, on Hain Celestial Group, Hain. So those are the main ones I'm watching tomorrow: Dollar Tree, Occidental, Hain. There's other stocks here that look good. I mentioned the stocks that I want to see run early in the morning. I think you have a great trade in Visa. So if the market's just hanging out and it's not gapped up too much, I want to look for Visa to make a run, and I think that's a pretty decent trade tomorrow on this Visa. Very close. We're flagging out, and this should continue to move higher. Another stock that's actually a very strong stock, VRSN, also is flagging out, and I just want to make a point of just showing this one to you because it's been a very good stock that continues to flag. We're not oversold yet on the daily. The 60, of course, has been getting oversold because there's really a lot of selling in the market the last couple days. But VeriSign here going forward will also be on the list. And eBay, EBAY. I'm really putting in that candlestick. So Visa and eBay, I do expect eBay to get a further push tomorrow higher. Visa early morning push higher. And again, Dollar General is setting up. That's the next one besides the Family Dollar that I'm really liking. DG, if we take a look at DG here, this is really nice. And I have a feeling we're going to actually get a move in this tomorrow too. What we got down here now is an oversold daily. We have an really nice underlying trend line. We're way off the 200. We're not being sucked into the 200, but this is good. This is good. This is what you want to see the daily. The 60 is also setting up, and you can see I already started putting this little channel wedge in here. So everything points to a move up. We're oversold on this area. A gap down or something that brings this down to this level one more time, and even if this was down, came down to here, I would like this a lot. I would like this area a lot. I think it's going to move up from here. And we're going to move up out of this pattern along with the Dollar Tree and these stocks that are setting up. Which, again, looking at the daily chart on this could also be, it's just a nice setup here. Daily 60 trend line, everything set up for it. And one last stock I haven't talked about in a while. I'm starting to do some research on it. Capital One Finance, nice flag. I expect this one, we traded this one back here. We called for this to make new highs. It made new highs, took profits. It's pulled back underneath that recent high here. There's a kind of a little reversal here. Banks are coming out. The beginning of the banks are coming out this Friday. JP Morgan, Wells Fargo will come out with earnings. After that, I would say, to keep an eye on this Capital One Finance, one of the leading banks in the sector. We call best of breed. And those best of breeds here, still very strong. Continuously makes flags and a 3 or 4 day pullbacks and then a pop. 3 or 4 day pullback, a pop. Here's a more big a pop. So we actually continue to make these just little flags, and we're in the midst of this flag, and we're pretty much have high confidence this is going to continue to make higher highs down the road. All right, so that's the update for tomorrow. Again, I'm really liking the Dollar Tree, the Occidental Petroleum. That's a hit or miss. I mean, if the market does decide to flush a little bit more, the Oxy could break down. Haynes looks really good. Hain. Again, the Dollar Tree. And the other ones. And Visa and eBay early in the morning for a run up. Hope that wasn't too long. It's 11 12. Oh, shit. It's 12 o'clock. 12 o'clock here. Wednesday. I'll see you tomorrow in the markets, and we'll probably get this in the morning. Take care. I'm out.